Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Firebird 721 here, and I'm bringing you today some tabletop shenanigans with the Ghost Industries folks. One sec to introduce. Hello, everybody. Say hi to
Hey yo,
YouTube.
hi YouTube.
Hello.
We've got Lucian V Ghost, another YouTuber. He's actually a pretty good guy. Say hi.
Hello.
Uh, we have Echo or Echo of a Cuttlefish.
Yo,
And then we have Ice Leopard, who is the resident memester.
Unfortunately,
I'm not sure if that was a laugh or someone choking.
he's still choking. Don't worry
Ah.
about it.
Both. It's both.
I inhaled a noodle.
Off to a brilliant start.
Yep.
As usual.
Yep. Sounds about normal for him. I'm going to turn everybody down because we tend to be a tad loud whenever we're all in voice chat. Turn it down a little bit more. There we go. And full screen Chrome again. There we go.
Do I still have the credentials to make napalm?
Oh my goodness, Leopard. Just wow.
What?
Just
Echo, are you gonna upload that character token?
I have no idea how.
Press edit, upload
Ah,
on your character sheet.
yeah,
Look,
on the
I can do
avatar. On the
You
avatar.
can do it.
All right.
I am not smart, okay? Just
I am, however. No,
Hey,
hide that screen
Okay.
for a minute.
You want me
And
to change my You want me to change my icon yet?
I don't care about your icon, Ice. You can keep it that if you want, but that's your choice. Okay.
oh, I didn't even notice that that's what it was. Okay.
Starting recording. In 3, 2, 1. Okay. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and all variations thereof, and welcome to Aether Cyprium Steam Thieves, the first in a few chapters of a Blades in the Dark campaign hosted on the Ghost Industries community Discord channel. And today, joining me are Echo,
Hi.
Firebird,
hello.
and Ice Leopard.
Hey, I managed to introduce myself without choking on my food this time.
Congratulations. Right. So, to start off, here's a little backstory. Aether Cyprium is a world of my own creation, which our friends here will be experiencing as the world progresses. They will be able to unlock more areas. They will be able to gather more stuff and enjoy the interests of this place. And with that being said, I am going to drop you all in the deep end with a few little pieces of information.
So you're dropping us into the deep end of the pool with floaties. Thanks.
No. I'm dropping you into the deep end of the pool with weights.
Oh, okay.
This
Don't
will be
worry,
fun.
it's not that bad.
And he says, "These are your new shoes right before kicking you in."
Okay, so
Here's your waiters.
Okay,
let me
there's room where I
provide
need
you
myself. Okay.
a little bit of backstory information for where you guys are at the moment. So, through some form of circumstances or another, not quite clear how, but probably something to do with drinking drugs or general mayhem, you have all ended up outside the city of Aether Cyprium. Outside the control points, outside the city center, way outside any civilization. For some reason, it might be to do with someone gambling and getting into a fight and getting drunk. It might be to do with someone accidentally stealing a bunch of wine. Or it could be something to do with someone blowing up a bank. Doesn't really matter which. But through this ironic twist of fate, you have all ended up in the same place outside the city. And I am going to quickly pull you all over to the city map. So there we go. So now you should be able to see mostly darkness, admittedly, but down in the lower right corner,
Left.
left? Oh, it is left. You're right. Yes, down in the lower left corner, you will see a small room wherein lie your tokens, which I haven't added Echo's token there yet.
I can count the pixels.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Echo, can you drag your token onto the map?
I have
Because-
where? Hold on. Let me. Where? What
You
am I
see
doing?
the little
Where am I?
newspaper-looking thing up in the right-hand side, up at the top, the journal. Pull up your character list. Then click
Was
the image of your character and drag. I do
I'm
believe
just
that's how it works.
highlighting things.
Yeah, I'm getting the same problem actually.
Why am I so incompetent?
Click the character name.
Hmm.
Click and drag the character's name.
What?
That's what I just did. I clicked and dragged my
Ah!
character. And now they're
There we
resized.
go.
It's giant.
It's
Hold
fine.
on. Ah. There we go.
There we go. Okay. So, this is where you lot have found yourselves. And I will actually show you, admittedly, what this room that you are all in looks like. So if you will direct your attentions to the upper right of the screen, I will show what this room looks like. And this room is small, understated. It's pretty run down, admittedly. There's a couple of beds, but nothing particularly fancy. There you go. That is what the room looks like.
Oh, okay.
So
You
it's
are a
got one
sneaky bugger,
lantern
Lucian.
in the middle. Hmm?
You are a sneaky bugger. I see
How
what
so?
you used Minecraft.
I did. I am actually using Minecraft as a map template system.
That's actually not a bad
Which
idea.
you know about, Fire.
Oh
You
yeah.
know about
Yep.
that. You got a sneak preview
Yep.
to this.
I love
But
Patreon.
yes, so that is what the room looks like. It's about 5 meters across by 8 meters long. It's not very big. There's a lantern hanging from the ceiling, doesn't provide too much light, sort of dusty, very old, not very well kept. It's a room on the outskirts of the city. Nobody knows quite where it is. It's got one door in and out. That's it. And to start off, as this is where you are at the moment, I am going to make one very, very crucial point for this. You are only allowed one load item for this session to start with. You can gain more as you progress in this session, but to start with, you are only allowed one. So under your character sheets, select one of your items to keep on you. You can only have one for the start of the session.
How dare you assume I can actually make decisions?
There we go.
Now, some may come in more useful than others, and some may not come in useful at all. But, okay, so we have two selections. And can't take that one, I'm afraid, Ice, because fine wrecking tools require 2 load points, but you can only take 1. That's why there's 2 boxes there. So we're going to have to select something else.
Question. Would a trained hunting pet
Yes.
count for that?
You do not have your pet with you. I'm going to put that
Okay.
on the table right now.
All right.
You have
I
just
figured.
been kicked out of the city after a night of sitting in a winery. So you do not have your pet with you.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. So, yep, that works. That works quite nicely. Okay. So, you are all sitting in this room. Let's do a quick flashback. How did you get here? What did you do to get kicked out into the middle of nowhere? Let's start with Firebird.
Oh gosh.
It's the thunder happening. It's pouring outside right now.
Yeah, it's alright. Better than hearing heavy equipment, which I'm sure will happen at some point. I'll have to get back to you on that.
You can't get back to me on it. We're doing this live. All right, I'll give you a moment to think it over. And actually, before we continue, to give you all a moment to think it over, Echo, we have not decided your particular genetic modification traits yet, have we?
I think we did, but we never. But I think I decided. Jesus Christ! Excuse you, Thunder.
Oh wait,
We
no,
never
we did.
decided that it was visible.
Yes, that is correct. We never decided if it was going to be visible or not. So, do you want that to be visible?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. So, pure human with minor genetic modifications on the inside, but not the outside. That is fine. Okay. So, Echo, what did you do to get yourself into this situation? What
Not
has
gonna
Zyda
lie.
Avalon Dalmor done?
Probably gotten herself in a bar fight.
Okay. So you got yourself in a bar fight, probably in one of the slum areas of the city.
Uh-huh.
It's probably very likely that said bar fight involved a row over cards, maybe?
You could say that.
Yeah. And of course, the blue coats got called. That's for everyone else, that is the police in this universe. They're called the Bluecoats. And you got chucked out on your ass into the darkness outside the city, and as such, your wanderings have led you here, where it looks like an old abandoned hideaway. You're not completely sure how you got here, but this is where you are. Ice, how did you get here? What did you do to get chucked out of the city?
Basically, I got paid to assist in a robbery that went horribly wrong. And before I was discovered, I ran out of the city to get the hell away from the guards and lie low for a bit.
Okay. Makes sense. Well, we're back to you, Fire. What did you do?
One sec, typing it up. All right. All right. Yeah, y'all can
Wait,
hear
have
me,
you guys
right?
been able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, let me make sure I'm on the right. Okay. So I started perusing the selection of wine in a lower section of the city. Not my preferred place, but found a particularly fine vintage and decided on a whim, and one of the not too many times of me being a tad dumb, to take that bottle and try to run with it. Tripped over an umbrella stand and got grabbed by security guy. And after realizing trying to run was rather dumb, let the security guy take me in. And I ended up
Okay.
up here after a night of being in the
Okay.
emptier than normal cellar.
Well then. Since you've all managed to get here through a night of rioting and mayhem, I'm gonna say some of you aren't particularly on your feet, as it were. Right. Well then. Right now, you're all in this room. This is where you've all met. How do you interact with each other? What is your first interaction like? All of you are from completely different places, completely different backgrounds. How do you interact with each other?
Hmm.
I'm just sort of laying on one of the beds with my left hand covering my eyes, and I'm like, I told him not to do that with the explosives, and he still dropped it.
I'll
I
give you guys
snort
this
is like,
moment.
you never drop explosives. It's the number one thing you learn. I suppose he was a rookie.
You would not believe. I already knew this was a bad idea taking this job, and I took it anyways.
So then why'd you take it?
I need the money. Hell, if I'm gonna be a fucking blue collar worker for the rest of my life.
At least you have a job.
True. She has a point there.
Not anymore.
Oh yeah, you had one.
So are we just
I'm-
gonna lounge about in here, or are we gonna try and get out?
And whatever you guys want to do. I guess I'll stick with
Okay.
y'all.
So, someone here has decided to take initiative. In this case, Echo. Echo has decided to take initiative. And I'm guessing you're going to try and find a way out of this room, right?
No, I'm gonna lounge about on one of the cots.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Sarcasm.
Okay, so you're going to try and find a way out of this room. And in order to do that, first things first, you need to assess the area that you are in. And in order to do this, I'm going to look up something very quickly in the book of rules. Okay, so.
Of course. I can do this.
Okay, so you are going to roll a dice. And in this case, you're going to roll. Let's see. How many dice are you going to roll? So this is going to test your study skill. And with this test, you will roll an amount of dice that is equivalent to that study roll or that study trait. Um, so this is an action roll. The action rolls are pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. They're very similar to initiative rolls in D&D. So in this case, you're going to be rolling. You're going to be rolling 1d6. Now, with why am I? What? You could have waited for me to explain what a d6 does. But all right. So, rolling the dice in Blades in the Dark, it's essentially a chance system. If the highest dice that you roll is a 6, it's a full success. Things go well, you do what you went to accomplish. If it's a 4 or a 5, it's a partial success. You do what you were trying to do, but there are consequences. If the highest die is 1 to 3, it is a bad outcome. Things go poorly, you probably don't achieve your goal, or you do achieve it, but you suffer badly for it. So, in this situation, you have rolled a 4. 4 or 5, that's a partial success. In this situation, there's not much repercussion for a partial success. So I'm going to say you look around, you accidentally look at the lamp, make yourself a bit dizzy, but that's fine. You look around and you see that at the end of this room, there is a door. There's a big iron door, and it looks pretty heavy. But you also notice that the door is not locked. It's got a deadbolt, but the deadbolt is on the inside and it's pulled back. So you can try opening the door if you want to.
See, the way you phrase that. I'm just inherently not.
Inherently suspicious.
Yeah, exactly. Like, inherently suspicious because I've played enough RPGs to be like, going gung ho with this is probably not the best of ideas.
Okay. And what do you want to do? Because from what you can see, the door looks like it is the only way out of this room.
I'm going to press my hand against the wall and see if I can feel any vibrations through it of anyone maybe talking or footsteps.
Okay. So you press your hand against the wall. Which, actually, quick question. Which wall are you pressing your hand against? There are
The one
four
that the
walls
door is
in
fed into.
the one that the door is set into. Okay. So the first thing that you can feel is minor vibrations in the floor. It's like really minor vibrations. But as you listen, the vibrations get more and more intense, as if something's coming towards you. All of a sudden, these vibrations get so high. There's dust coming down from the ceiling, and then you hear something something approaching. Sounds like this.
You might want
And
to you might want to
as
lock that door.
you listen, as you listen, something goes thundering past the door. There's sounds like a hissing and something like metal on metal, and it goes
Nice.
thundering past the door, and then the vibrations fade away, and it's quiet again.
I guess I walk over and peer out the door.
Okay, so the door has a slot in it. And it's a bit of a like a letter box slot, something that you would see in a prison door, for example. As you look out, I will give you a basic view of what you see. There you go. That is a basic view of what you can see looking through the letterbox. And admittedly,
Wait, where am I supposed to be able
you
to see
can't
this?
see much. Look down in the bottom left corner of the screen.
Oh,
Where your character
triangle has
tokens
appeared.
are. Hmm?
It looks like a train track.
Mm-hmm. Is that what you judge it to be, from your perspective?
Well, I mean, like, I'm looking at pixels, so I have to just assume that it's a
Hmm.
train track.
Okay, so as you look out the letterbox, you can't see much. It's very dark. Of course, it's always dark in Aether Cyprium. The whole city is underground. But this is like pitch black. But you can see glinting metal. And it looks like iron and possibly some stone. Um, in general, that's what it looks like. So, would you like to try and open the door? Would you like to try to leave this area?
How, how about we have the former soldier lead the way out?
Yeah. You have to discuss this with the party. That's not for me to decide.
I just begin to open the door. I'm like, well, we can't stay here forever.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
So you're gonna try and open the door, right?
Do I remember how I got down here, or was it just a haze of me running for my life?
Second option. Um. Okay. So you push on the door, and it doesn't budge. So you pull on the door, and it creaks open. The hinges are rusty. Might need a bit more force to get it open properly because it's barely moving.
I gesture over to the soldier. You want to help?
Yeah. I walk over and
Okay, so
yank on the door.
give me a okay. Let's see. You're going to need to give me a rec roll because this would be good on the wrecking end of things.
Yeah, it would be. Wouldn't it?
But you do not have any point in wrecking, which gives you a
Can I wreck it?
small problem. No, you can't. You just gave that job to the soldier, so yeah.
I gestured over to you. I want to help. I'm still like trying to pull it open with him.
Well,
Take it, split it in
hold
half.
on. Can't do that, I'm afraid. I'm just going to quickly look over these rules.
One sec, I'm gonna see what this does. Okay, what is the position? Controlled, I guess.
So yes, this is a controlled environment. In this situation, because you have no rec dice, you will need to roll me 2d6, but you will be going with the lowest result. Ooh.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's my
Ouch.
luck. That's my luck.
That's a 1.
That is a 1. That is a bad outcome in a controlled situation. In fairness, this is a controlled situation. That's fine. That helps with this.
Falls off his hinges and falls onto the soldier. It's
So
time to re-roll the character.
no, that's fine. So this is a controlled situation. You have technically failed, but I'm going to leave this up to you. Do you want to succeed with a repercussion or fail? Just outright fail.
Succeed with repercussion, and I already have an idea of a repercussion.
No. Repercussions are up to me, not to you.
Okay.
Okay. So you succeed with a repercussion. So you pull on the door. You're a strong man. You're very strong, actually. You're a former soldier and all of that. You pull on the door. The hinges, they're really rusty. Like, they're really, really rusty. It takes a massive effort even just to have the door pulled back another inch. So you dig your heels into the ground and you pull more on the door. And unbeknownst to you, but very noticeable by Echo, who has better hearing than you, the metal starts to splinter. And then suddenly, the door pops off its hinges. And with all the pressure that you were exerting on this door, you stumble back, and the door falls over and lands on your foot.
Yeah, that's my luck. Ah,
And
shit.
Unfortunately, this means that you have taken damage. It's not much. It's essentially just, it's a heavy door, but it's not that heavy. It's like thin metal, with reinforced beams inside it, but it's not that heavy.
Minor
It's
injury to ankle.
essentially landed on your foot, and you have a really sore foot right now. Like
My-
it's not that bad.
Minor injury to ankle, basically.
My well, I'd say minor injury to your toes, basically, because that's where it's landed. You basically squished your toes a bit. It hurts like a bitch, but it's not that bad.
Okay.
I kick at my shoes and I'm like, steel toe boots, that's why you wear them.
Yeah, the one time I don't wear them. Okay, shush.
Okay, so you have opened the door. And because you have opened the door, you can now see more out into the area where you are. And I will reveal to you. Oh, hold on. I will reveal to you the area that you are in. Or some of the area, at least. There you go. That is the area that you are in. And as you walk out into this area, it is a tunnel. It is a very large tunnel, in fact. And there are two sets of rail tracks in this tunnel. You are right, Leo. You are in a railway tunnel, essentially. There are train tracks going in both directions, and there are two sets of them, side by side. These look like medium gauge railway tracks. Not for massive locomotives, but not for small ones either. These locomotives could probably crush you if you went in front of them. So, you are now in a sort of railway tunnel. From what you can see, this looks like one of the central railway tunnels of the
European network.
city.
Okay.
To my left, what do I see?
And you look to your left, and you see the tunnel stretch on for quite a length of ways, but at the end of the tunnel, there are lights. There's not very distinct lights. You can't really see much, but there are lights. It looks like the tunnel has an end, as it were. And I'll actually show you what that looks like. So there you go. I've just shown you an image of what that tunnel looks like if you look down to the left.
If we're going out into this tunnel where there might actually be active trains, I think it would be a good idea to bring a lantern or the lantern on the ceiling with us.
The question is, can you reach that lantern?
I
Because that
would not
lantern
be able
is
to.
about 3 meters off the floor. 3 or 4 meters off the floor, actually.
So a little higher up than I am tall.
I mean, it's above you about twice your height, essentially.
Okay.
Would someone tall like to try and get the lantern off the ceiling?
I guess I'd
I,
try to go
I
for the
point I
left.
point I point at Leopard and is like, I'll give you a lift up. I get down and hook my hands together like for a foot for a for him to use as a step.
Okay, I guess we're doing this.
Yep.
Would you rather go into a dark tunnel where there's active trains with no light?
She has a point there. Come on.
I guess,
Okay,
I guess I'm
so
going with this plan.
Yes.
you're going to try and get this lantern down. So
Yeah, they want the lantern.
this is going to be a double roll.
Oh yeah, let's go.
So on Ice's end, you're going to be rolling finesse. You're essentially going to be balancing on this man while at the same time trying to unhook a rather large and unwieldy lantern from up there. And at the same time, you, Fire, are trying to keep this man above you steady while also not dropping him. And you've already got minor injury. And you'll be rolling. I'm gonna say you're just gonna be rolling skirmish for this one.
That was not finesse. What was that?
So in this situation,
Is it
you're
controlled
both gonna be
desperate?
rolling. This is a controlled situation. I'm gonna say. And it's fairly controlled. There's no immediate danger to any of you. So yeah, you're both going to be rolling 1d6, if you please.
Let's go with your first roll.
Okay.
Oh, good lord.
So
This lantern power
you
guy.
both managed to roll really shit.
Yes. Well, let's say he rolled a
Okay.
3 because he did roll that one when he didn't need to. Don't know
I'm
why he
going to
rolled that first one.
give. Okay, so I'm going to give Echo a chance to save this.
Oh lord, now it's all resting on me. Great.
So, because I'm taking both of your rolls, the 1 and the 2. I'm not taking the 3 because I didn't say to roll, and Leo rolled anyway. So you
Trying to roll
guys
as
need to
high as
learn
possible.
this.
Why do you think I
Learn to
re-rolled?
respect your DM.
That was a
3.
misclick. Screw you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
So
something you want to be saying to the DM right now.
Yeah, no,
you.
not the best idea.
So
Are you guys ready for new
what
campaign?
we
Because
will
this is gonna be a new
be.
campaign.
Yeah. It's. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not gonna make you do a new campaign right now.
Okay, so we're not gonna drop the lantern full of oil right on top of us.
No,
Don't
not
give them
quite
ideas.
yet.
Not this early. Not
Don't
this early.
worry. That was an idea I already had. But no, I'm not gonna make you do anything quite yet. Not like that anyway.
My clothes are
But
made
yeah,
of leather.
Echo. In order to save this situation, I would like you to roll me 1d6 on finesse. You have a point in finesse, so you can roll it.
I'm really hoping I roll well for this.
And you
Hey,
do.
Oh,
She saved it.
nicely done.
it's a 5.
Success with minor consequence. Very nice indeed. This ties in quite well with this situation. So, Alan Pritchard, or Grip, stoops and takes a position with his hands interlocked and provides a foothold. Alif Danfield climbs on and starts fiddling with the lantern, on top of the lantern. But as he does so, he loses his balance and starts falling back. The cuff of his coat gets caught on the lantern's hook and frees it, and the lantern starts falling. Aleph and Pritchard fall over into a pile of,
Just
well, people. They just fall into a pile together on the floor. And this lantern is now in free fall. It has maybe 2 meters before it hits the ground. Avalon lunges for this lantern and catches it by the casing. And unfortunately, one of the glass panes in this lantern is very old, very smoked up and dusty, and it is a bit cracked. And the impact causes that pane to shatter. But other than that, it's fine. The other two have sustained minor aches and pains, but nothing worth talking about.
It's the biggest injuries to our pride.
Yep. Pretty
You two are just kind of cuddling on the floor.
Sort of just
If I
sitting
was
there
Draken,
hanging by the hook on my coat.
Okay, so you have acquired a fairly unwieldy railway lantern with one broken pane in it. Someone add that to your notes.
leopard.
All right.
You're holding it. Congratulations.
No, leopard.
Woohoo!
Echo is holding it,
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
Echo
Okay.
put to their notes. Okay, so
Actually,
you
the way
have
our
a
luck is
railway.
good. It's probably for the best.
See, how long would that have taken you? Maybe about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was about to
that's
say.
fine. Okay, so how would you like to progress?
Does it start heading down towards the lights?
You want to start heading down towards the lights. Okay.
Choo choo.
Before you do that, is there anything that you want to investigate in this area?
I
Are there
look to
lights
I look to the
towards us?
right. I look out the door and to the right. See
So
if there's
to the
anything.
right, the railway tracks go round a corner, and it's just darkness. You can't see anything.
Okay, yeah. I say we head towards the
I kind
lights.
of investigate the place just in general before I leave. Looking back at it. Trying to remember how the hell I ran all the way here and actually ran into this place.
So I'm going to provide you guys with a very quick preface. Pay attention to details that I leave on the map because they can lead to interesting encounters. Any little detail, no matter how insignificant it might look to you, could lead to something interesting. Because I've added a bunch of little things here and there. Okay, so.
In this pixelated mess.
Yes.
Yes, the pixelated mess. As a matter of fact, there is stuff that you can find that can lead to interesting
I just
stuff.
thought you didn't know how to put pixels on that map.
Okay, if we're talking about pixels, I've been staring at that blue pixel for a while. Why is it blue?
There it is. There it is.
Okay, now that he said that, I'm looking at the blue. I thought the blue pixel was just him not knowing how to use pixels.
No, that is a part of the map. There is a
That is
reason for everything
intentional.
that is on the map.
Oh, you sneak.
Okay,
Right
fine.
before you gotta give them credit.
I go to look at the pixel.
Oh,
The blue
the pixel for you isn't there. What is there, I can tell you this free of charge, as it were. What is there is the sound of running, bubbling water. You can hear water running from somewhere in the tunnel. Would you like to investigate?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I just follow along because I don't want to be left alone.
You don't want to be
alone
left
in the
alone in the dark.
I mean, Echo is the one with the lantern, so the
Yeah,
rest of you
sure.
are having to
Yeah, that.
follow them.
That is true.
Okay, so the running water sound is coming from the other side of the tracks from where you are currently. It's about, I'm gonna say about 15 meters away. It's not too far, but on a active railway could be pretty far. So would you like to head straight there? What do you want to do?
Um, I'm going to assume that the thing that passed when I initially pressed my hand against the wall was a train. So,
Nothing nor denying, just saying
yeah,
that
I
you
know the
can.
sound is deafening. Oh god.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's actually a pretty interesting distance too.
The
Like,
scale and
don't take any stock of the distances on the map. They do not matter. At least the distances that show up from Roll20, they don't apply here.
yeah.
I know, but that does make me curious.
Um,
That's excellent. Hmm.
I think you can change that. I think you can change the measurement system to more apply to what you want.
But this is first session stuff. I'm not going to put that much.
No, I'm just letting you know.
It also requires some finagling.
would I be able to feel another train coming if I were to press my hand against a wall? Like, how far a radius, I guess, would I be able to feel vibrations?
You probably want to hear.
So for like short range stuff. But what I will say is trains are heavy.
And somewhat loud.
Yeah, because I don't know how often these trains would be running, and I really don't feel like leading us all out into becoming pancake.
Let me put it this way. You can hear a human voice through a concrete wall. Hearing a train from tunnel is not going to be that hard. Like when it passes by, even your crewmates can hear it pretty easily.
I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna put one of my leather boots or step with one of my leather
So
boots
you're
onto the rail.
okay. So you're gonna step with one of your leather boots onto the rail, right?
What do I feel?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's a rail.
Okay, I'm gonna tell him it's probably not gonna be here for a while.
Remember, there are two sets of train tracks in this tunnel.
Indeed.
I cross this one and I step on this one. What do I feel?
Nothing. But it is getting rather dark now that you're away from the lamp.
It should be fine.
Cool, let's just
Well, feel as long as you keep one foot on the truck, you'll hear him. You'll feel him coming before you'll even hear him.
fair enough.
All right.
Let's just ride out in a railway station then.
In case
With
you're
active
wondering what I do,
trains.
it's something I used to do in real life. If you can feel like a train coming from a mile away,
So that's a
just by
base
having
human sense there. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
No, if you know
We've
anything about
all
trains,
crossed
trains are so
over
heavy they'll
to the
vibrate.
second rail track. Okay. So, as you walk over, you look down, and between the bars, like the wooden slats of the railway, you notice a rather deep-looking pool It's about a meter across. It's not too big, but it's substantial enough that if you stepped into it, you could probably comfortably sit in it, essentially.
What's
And
it? How like wide it is, or
it's about if you sat in it, you could probably sit in it with your legs outstretched, essentially. Like it's pretty big, and the pool is bubbling. In fact, it's bubbling so much that the water is slowly overflowing into the gravel area of this place. And I'm not going to lie, the water sort of smells. It's not a particularly pleasant smell either, but it's coming from somewhere, and it looks like it's coming through the wall, from where this, uh, from the side of the tunnel, essentially. And I'll give you a better example. The water smells stagnant. Okay, it smells like it's been there for a long time.
or rather, the water that is draining down to there has been,
Hmm?
or the water that's coming in had been in that other place where it was coming from for a while. Never smells too pretty. Uh oh, we lost a leopard.
Uh-oh.
Still here.
You're not in game.
What?
I'm not in the roll 20 at the moment. There we
Yep. You and your
I
meme
definitely
picture.
wasn't looking at memes.
go. So,
Uh,
you have approached this pool of water. What would you like to do?
Is it against the law to drink it?
I'd
No.
advise against it.
I point at the soldier. I'm like, tell me if it tastes funny.
I just glare at him and say, "Do you think I'm that stupid?"
Yes.
It's a joke.
Work on
Okay.
your funnies.
So
Work on your
you've been
humor.
standing around this pool of water for about 5 minutes now, maybe. Um,
How
in
deep
that
is it?
case, would you like to test how deep it is? It's not really bright enough for you to see the bottom, but with the lantern sort of holding it over the pool, you can sort of make out where the sides of this pool start to slope into the middle. And by your estimation, it's about a meter deep, maybe slightly more.
I feel like it would be a bad idea to jump in.
Someone tell me why we're examining a puddle.
Also, Echo, roll me a d6. Just do it. No reason why.
I'm just standing there with my boot on the.
6.
6. Very well done. Um, as you're standing there, with a group of ragtag individuals, you start to pick up vibrations. And with every passing moment, those vibrations are getting louder and louder.
Do I feel them?
Not yet, is what I'm gonna say.
I'm going to start.
Note that you are in a very large tunnel, but this very large tunnel has very limited space for a locomotive. And by your estimation, if this locomotive is coming from the direction that you think it is, you have about 15 seconds to decide what to do. And there are really only two places you can go.
Damn,
How wide is the tunnel
these
again?
locomotives going.
So the tunnel is 15 meters wide. The tunnel is actually about 12 meters wide. The locomotive takes up about 6 meters of that area. Now, there are two places that you can go. I'm not going to indicate them for you, but I will say that the train is coming down one of the tracks, but you don't know if there's another one coming direction. What do you do?
Fuck. Oh god.
You guys spent about 5 minutes just sitting around a pool of water.
What do you think I said to him? Why are we sitting around examining a puddle on a train track?
That is a fair point. There's a train coming?
There's a train coming and it'll be here in about 20 seconds.
Do I feel the vibrations yet?
Now you do, yeah.
I'm like, well, shit, and I start walking back over. I start kind of doing.
You do not have the time to walk.
I said I'm gonna start jogging over to the back into the little hidey hole.
Okay. So,
I'm like, I yell back. I'm
what
like, either
should the
you're
rest
getting
of
in the
you
puddle
do?
or you're getting in here. I'd rather get in here, as I'm pointing back at the room.
Uh, can I like squish myself in the space between the tracks and like pray that the trains don't hit me?
You can, but there is a very high chance that you might get ripped to shreds.
That's
Fun.
funny when something catches on you. They're just gonna be dragged down the tracks. They're gonna spend weeks
Alright,
cleaning
well,
parts of you off the subway train tracks.
back to the room.
Fire?
Earth to fire.
Fire, but
Uh,
you really need to not mute yourself for these things.
Okay. I don't even have a recording of me yelling. Okay, I was yelling, run back to the room as soon as Leopard said there's a train coming.
Okay, so you're running back to the room as well, right?
Yes, I've already run back.
Okay.
you need to move it closer to the front.
The moment that the last of you steps through the doorway, a train screams past the first the like where the puddle is, and as you hear it slowly fade away into the distance, Um. duh, 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 duh.
I sure was yelling for like.
So you hear a train going in this direction, and it is coming away from those lights that you saw before. And as you please stop doing
Sorry.
that. And as you sort of breathe a sigh of relief, another train comes from the other direction, the other track. So if you had been standing in the middle, you would have probably died.
Jolly good fun.
But the trains are gone now. So would you like to proceed?
Yes, shall we go on to those lights so we at least have some destination? Forget about the
Yeah,
puddle.
Okay.
Forget
you
about
because
the
they
puddle.
come about,
You guys
what,
please
every
not get distracted by a
15-ish
puddle
minutes?
this time. As I begin doing a jog towards the lights.
Okay, so you're gonna jog towards the lights. Okie dokie. Let's see where this takes us.
I bring up
Now,
the back of the group because
by your estimation, these lights are probably about 70 meters away. By your rough estimations. Let me reveal some areas for you. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da-da, ta-da-da. There you go. Now, that's not the full area, but it is most of it. So that is the area that you can see ahead, essentially. And
Yeah.
that's about 70 meters ish.
Start booking it towards the station.
Yeah, just start booking it.
Yep.
How
I
do you
bring it.
know it's a station? Could be anything.
We don't, but anything's better than vibing on the train tracks.
Okay,
I'm
so you're
guessing
gonna
it's a freaking station. It's a
start
station.
running towards the station.
I bring it the back of the
Okay.
group. I bring up the rear of the group. Just
Okay, it takes you
old
about
habits die hard.
10 minutes or so to get to about. I'm gonna say it takes you about 10 minutes or so to get to about here. To this point here. And as you get closer and closer to the station, you notice that it is, in fact, a station. There are lights, there's platform numbers. There's also, patrolling the platforms of said station, a bunch of bluecoats.
That means
That means there's policemen on the station platforms.
I don't know about you, but I'd rather get arrested than squished to death by a train, so let's just get onto the platform
I
and
just start
figure out what we're
clambering up
doing
on the
from there.
station. I'm just like mumbling something
Okay,
about I don't get paid enough
so
for this job.
since you guys are very much new to this, the blue coats in this setting aren't particularly nice. In fact, they are very much the opposite of nice. Prisons in Aether Cyprium are unpleasant, like very unpleasant. If a blue coat thinks you've done something wrong, they have whatever they think that you've stolen, so on and so forth. In this setting, are not nice people, meaning that there is a possibility that you could get beaten pretty much within an inch of your life if you happen to have, say, attempted to blow up a bank or I don't know, started a bar fight and gotten arrested for it and then escaped, etc., etc. You see where I'm going.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
If you
but it's either that or train death.
It's not the only option, but I'm not going to say anything more than that. But no, if you decide to clamber up on the platform, you will have to roll very well on stealth to not have a violent confrontation.
Hmm.
And there's
Stealth
only
is
one of you that stealth is prowl. There's only one of you that actually has a good amount of points in prowl. And
Yeah, I
one of
guess.
you doesn't have any at all.
Ow.
Well, I have at least
Hmm?
one.
You have one, Echo has two, but Leo has none. Meaning he'll have to roll 2 dice and take the lowest option.
And with the way his luck has been.
Exactly.
I am not even trying to hide it. I'm just crawling out of there like I don't want to be here anymore.
Okay.
You look like you've seen some things and you just wanted to get away. Because remember, they don't know
Now-
what he looks like.
I'm going to be mumbling something about test the damn tracks. Are they trying to get me fucking killed? Make sure that odd vibrations. What the fuck? No, they just let the train tracks run anyways.
Now, I will
Just a quick in
put
and
this
out.
forward one more time before you decide to take this course of action. There are alternatives to this course of action, but I'm not going to say what they are. So, are you sure you want to go through with this?
I mean, no, but
I don't like that idea.
Hey,
the
Leopard.
alternatives I see are
That
go down the tunnel in the other direction, train death, or jump in the puddle and vibe.
I like the
Or
jump
keep
puddle and
going.
vibe
Actually, I
idea.
do like the puddle and vibe idea. We're going to smell for a few minutes afterwards, but.
Do you want to go and jump in the puddle and vibe, I guess?
I do not.
Yeah. Well, it's either this or the
If they
puddle.
do,
Okay, prison puddle. Who wants to go with the puddle?
I don't respond. I just start walking. I start running back towards the puddle.
I start running back to the puddle.
good lord.
Okay, so you can choose to split up if you want to.
No, I'm not
Now,
going to do
in
that
this
to you.
situation, no, here's the thing. In this situation, Echo has the highest chance to actually get past the guards unnoticed. She has 2 points in prowl. The rest of you, not so much. So you can choose to split up, go your separate ways, and regroup in another area if you want to.
Technically,
But
we
that
don't have
is
to
your
worry about the
choice.
trains if there's no train to go down the tracks. I whip out some thermite.
You don't have any.
I have alchemy. Fucking,
You've
I'm
got.
carrying aluminum, rust, and some zinc.
You have a bandolier of alchemicals. But at any rate, I'm going to say that
Oh,
most of your alchemy got blown up, so you have only very basic chemicals. Nothing that could derail a train, essentially. Okay. So,
Maybe
situation.
you could
What are you
derail a
all
train.
doing?
I still have a lantern.
Currently
Okay.
vibing
So,
in a puddle.
two of you have run and you are now vibing in the puddle, right?
No, I just
What
go
about
on
you,
down to
Echo?
I go on down and explore around where that thing goes down.
What about you, Echo? What are you doing?
Uh, I'm going to probably do what is a very dumb move, but if it gets the blue coats focused on something else, fine by me. I'm going to leave this giant lantern in the way of one of the trains and make my way up onto one of the tracks. Or not one of the tracks, onto the platform.
Okay, so your distraction tactic. All right. So, Fire and Ice have jumped and vibed into the puddle.
Oh, I'm swimming on down.
Swim down
I can't. One sec. You're
far. It's
okay.
about
You
one
went.
and a half meters deep, this puddle.
Okay.
Okay, so this puddle is about 1.5 meters deep. But there is a hole in the wall, about the same size as a person. I'll get back to you in a minute, Echo, but we're going
Sounds
to
good.
focus on this very quickly.
Yep.
I'm taking the hole in the wall. He can have the puddle.
No, the hole in the wall is in the puddle.
Okay.
So would you like to swim through this hole? It's about the same size as a man. It's not big. You could probably crawl your way through it. But it's coming from
I guess like
Yes.
I crawl into the hole. I start crawling through the hole.
No, I'm the
Okay,
one
so
down
both
there. So I go
Okay,
there
so
first.
Fire is going first through the hole. Ice is coming in second. Fire. As you crawl down this narrow hole, holding your breath for dear life, because you are crawling through water, you notice sort of a dim light at the end of this. And as you crawl, you get closer and closer. You notice what looks like bricks, and there's sort of like it's like very loose bricks with gaps in them. It looks like if you really tried, you could pull these bricks apart and make like a proper big hole for you to get through.
Yeah, I start doing that.
Okay. So, very quickly, roll me a wreck.
Yep.
So 2d6 with the lowest outcome. Not bad, actually. Like
Well,
balanced
I mean,
threes.
That's
Could have been worse. So that is, I'm going to say that is a success with a mildly serious consequence. So, and in this situation, this mildly serious consequence is that as you're scrabbling at these bricks, trying to pull them loose, you start to lose oxygen. You've been underwater for
a while.
about a minute and a half now, and you're starting to lose oxygen as you're breaking these bricks away. And just as you break these bricks away from this area and surge through this hole, your vision starts blacking out, and you swim to the surface, and you come out in a fairly wide room. Like, it is a big room, and you are gasping for breath. And I'm going to say that you take
Cold trauma.
no, trauma is a big thing that we're not going to get into
Okay.
right now. I'm going to say that you take 1 stress.
Yep, I was about to say.
So, moving on. Ice, you have followed this man. You emerge into this area as well, relatively unharmed. You went into the puddle after him, so you got to keep your breath longer. Okay. When you manage to focus, you emerge in a rather large room, and I will display this room for you. There you go. That is what the room looks like. You have emerged at the bottom of this room.
Okay.
As you look up, you notice a
I
like
You roboted
really
out for a
big
second.
blades. As you look up from where you are swimming in the water is about 2 meters deep. And as you look up, you see a massive set of blades that are protruding from what looks like a column in the middle of the room.
Okay.
Man,
And that is where I'm going to leave it with you two for now. Moving over to Echo.
us and only.
Um, actually, let me quickly reveal what this looks like on the map as well, just so that you have a clear idea of where you are. There we go. Okay. Echo. Echo.
Hello.
So, you have left your lantern on the train tracks. I'm going to say you've left it about here, right? This is an old oil rail lantern. It's probably quite full of oil at this point as well, since it's not been in use for several years and it was only lit like yesterday. What are you doing? Oh, never
For
mind.
Drawing the lantern.
Oh, well, I guess that works.
Yeah,
So,
it's better than nothing.
now, as
Oh,
you
disconnected.
walk...
Oh,
What?
nothing. Rhythm just disconnected.
Yeah, that happens. As you walk along this railway thing, you come out into an area that does look pretty much like a rail station. And this is what you can see from where you are here-ish. So you have 2 choices. There are 2 platforms. Both are about 1.5 meters high. And by your judgment, they're going to be like, it's going to take a bit of effort to get yourself onto either of them. There is an increasingly large number of blue coats on this platform than there are on this platform.
Cool. This platform it is.
Okay, so roll me a prowl, 2 die.
Wait, 2 of them? Or
2 dice. Highest number. Because you have 2 points in prowl.
It's rolled
Gotcha.
2d6.
Yeah, roll 2d6, not roll them individually. And actually, before you do that, roll 1d6 for survey and 2d6. Roll 1d6 for survey first, yes. Oh, okay.
That's unfortunate.
So that survey roll would have estimated whether or not your lantern distraction would work. Unfortunately, it seems it won't. What would have happened if you had rolled well on the survey roll is a train would have thundered by, it would have hit the lantern would have exploded into flame across the front of the train, and the train would have gone careening down the tunnel, down the platform area, and it would have drawn the attention of pretty much everyone in the area. Because your survey roll didn't go quite so well, what happens is there's no train. So the lantern is just going to sit on the on the train tracks for the next 30 minutes, probably.
Oh well.
So
It'll still
valiant
happen
effort,
though.
but
Train's gotta hit.
after you're gone, essentially.
Yeah. Womp womp.
But yeah. So, roll me 2. Another thing, actually, before we go on. If your distraction had succeeded, what that would have done is given you an extra dice to roll. Meaning that you could have gotten a total of 3 dice to roll and taken the highest from 3, instead of having to take the highest from 2 instead.
Mm.
So it's circumstantial addition of chance, essentially. But now
Gotcha.
I would like you to roll 2d6, please. Oh, you guys are not having good luck today.
No, I personally never have good luck with roll 20. Although there was a one time I got a nat 20 and then the luck for the rest of the session. Yeah.
The lowest number is his most successful number at this point.
Okay, so Echo, you have rolled a 3. Unfortunately, this is technically a failure. However, we can adjust that. I'm going to introduce you to the system of stress. Now, we've seen that used very quickly before. I showed off what stress is with general stuff with fire. For example, you can take stress in a stressful situation. You can take stress when to negate harm, etc., etc. In this situation, you can use stress to, how do I say this? Let me see. Stress and trauma. Here we go. So, you can use stress to push yourself for greater performance. For each bonus of stress that you choose, you have to take 2 stress points. The things that you can push yourself for are adding 1 dice to your roll adding a level to your effect, or adding an action when you're incapacitated. Um, these 3 points allow you to essentially take stress for a positive result. Unfortunately, stress can be very detrimental to your character. When your stress bar hits full in a session, you will take a trauma point. Take 4 trauma points, your character is out of the game for good. Um, you can take stress away by indulging in your vice during downtime. It's pretty easy to understand the system. Use stress during sessions to add positives, take stress away during downtime to stop yourself from getting trauma. Um, in this situation, we can use stress to push yourself or essentially up the effect level. Now, effect levels are pretty easy to understand. There's 3 of them: limited, standard, and great. It depends on how much your action will affect a thing that you're doing. In this situation, you rolled a 3. Your effect is limited. So your prowl ability isn't going to particularly help you. You are probably going to get spotted. Now, you can choose to add another dice to your roll or increase your effect. By adding another dice, you give yourself one more chance to get a better result. And if you get a 4 or a 5, you get a good effect. You probably go unnoticed. If you get a 6, you definitely go unnoticed. If you up your effect level by 1, you would go to standard effect level. You achieve what you expected, but because you failed the roll, you will still have a fairly bad consequence. So you have a choice now. Do you want to live with what you've done, or do you want to push yourself for something extra and take 2 stress points? Echo?
Sorry, I'm thinking. I think I'm gonna take the stress points, but I'm not sure if I want to either take another roll or up the effect level.
Now, the roll is again a roll on a d6. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. If you up the effect level, you will accomplish your goal, but you will still the take the consequence offered by what you've done here, what your role is here.
I'm gonna take the extra roll.
Take the extra roll. Okay. So we mark 2 stress points on your character sheet. And roll me a d1. Not bad.
Well, that's Thieves is
Very
a girl.
nice.
Hell yeah.
See, this is why the pushing yourself ability comes in very handy. Like, there can be instances like this where you just roll a 6 and you're like, yes. So yeah. Okay. You have rolled a 6. You climb up onto the platform, and I will reveal a bit more of the platform for you to see. Um, there you go. So there's a bit more of the platform. There's benches, there's land. Over here, there is a rather distinctly large wall, and the patrols of blue coats are going from here to there and back again, pretty consistently. Currently, they're walking away from you. You've jumped up onto the platform as they are not looking in your direction. They're probably about 10 meters from your position, about here ish. So around you, there's a bunch of props. You can hide. You probably have 3 minutes before the Blue Coat Patrol comes back towards you. What would you like to do?
I want to get the hell out of here.
Okay. So, you know this station. It is Grand Central, essentially. This is the central station for the entire city. You also know the platform that you are on. You are on platform 1. And platform 1 is one of the side platforms. And unfortunately, you can't get to it via conventional means. The only way you can get to platform 1 is through a staircase that goes from the central ticket booth area, which is all the way down the other end of the platform, or across a crossing that is about 3/4 of the way down the central platform, but goes to platform 2, which is much more heavily guarded.
Ticket area thing.
Okay. So, in order to get from where you are all the way to that area down the other end, which I will reveal for you as well, revealing for everyone, but in this situation, there we go. So, that is the length of the platform. Pretty long. And the
That
stairs
is so much
are.
longer than I thought it was.
This is Central Station. The essentially most habited station in the whole area. Um, and I'm actually, in fact, I will reveal the entire station to you all so you can see exactly what you are dealing with. Okay. There you go. That is the entire station.
Holy shiitake mushrooms. Lucian, how long did this take you?
I I will not answer that question.
It took a
Um,
while. It took a while.
but yes,
That's
this is the
really
entire station. There are gantry walkways across these sections here and these middle sections here. Those are raised gantries, essentially. They're about 5 meters off the ground, essentially. If you want, you can try and climb up to them. Alternatively, you can try and sneak your way along the platform. This area here is the crossing to platform 2. This area here is the staircase across to the ticket area. Now, in order to get out of here, there is only one option, unfortunately. And that is the main lift, which is located right here at the back of the entire station. And it's pretty clearly marked.
I am so glad we chose the puddle.
You might not be fire. You might not be.
I don't want to have to deal with security guards.
That is
Well,
true.
there's other stuff that you'll have to deal with. Don't worry.
Deal with a giant bladed fan.
Okay.
Guards can be bribed. The giant spinning fan cannot. It is your
I never
god
said it was
now.
spinning. But yes, this is the area that you are now in, Echo. How would you like to
Alright.
proceed?
How high are. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. How high are these?
So the gantry platforms are about 5 meters off the ground. The walls that they are connected to look scalable.
Right. Uh, what have I done to myself here? um, would these guards be able to recognize me as I were right now?
Well, that depends. Currently, you're wearing what you were wearing the night before. Now, in this situation, you don't really have much of an option as to what you wear because you can't really disguise yourself. Uh, you could carry around a kit of disguises, but in this situation, you don't have one. What I will say is you do have some light climbing gear.
Right.
It's obvious what he's trying to get you to do.
Alright, up the walls I go.
Okay.
There you go.
So you're what? Okay, so the upper gantries are deserted. There's no one up there. They're usually just used for maintenance on the columns, essentially. So they're not really made for people to be up there all the time. Which is why there's patrols on the platforms, but not on the upper gantries. In this situation, we'll use your prowl skill once again. Hmm. Give me a sec.
Oh.
I need to look something up.
Gotcha.
Roger.
Roger. Go quiet
Okay,
also.
here we go. Climbing gear. Okay, so it's up to me how those are used. Okay, so with prowl for climbing, if it was just a use of just prowl, I would say just roll 2d6 and be done with it. In this situation, because you have light climbing gear, I am going to give you a third dice for you to use. So roll me 3d6. I'll see how well you do.
2 crit fails and a 3.
Oh no.
Oh, good
Well.
Lord.
Oh dear. Okay.
Gantry gives out as she's walking on. It's kind of rusty.
Uh,
That's if
You're
they were
gonna
all
have
Okay.
some
ones.
trauma after this. That's all I'm
We
saying.
shall see. Right. Let's move back to Fire and Leo and see how
oh,
they're getting
thanks.
along.
Okay.
So, you two have just emerged in what looks to be a massive water system. Essentially, a massive water storage tank. And the water that you are sitting in smells quite badly, actually. The water that you smelt outside was very stagnant. The water that you're in right now smells putrid, essentially. And it doesn't look particularly good either, from what you can see. There's not much light in here, in fairness. Above you, there is what looks to be a massive turbine fan, but it is currently inactive. Um, as you look around, you can see that the walls are made of old stone. There's a walkway around the wall about 2-3 meters above you, just above where the fan is, or the turbine blades are. And on one wall, there is a ladder that looks like a maintenance ladder, essentially.
I swim over to the maintenance ladder and start getting out of this stuff as quick as possible.
I do the same,
Okay.
following up behind him.
Okay.
Letting him get about
So
4 or 5 rungs above me.
you climb up the ladder. Do you want to step off onto the gantry or keep climbing?
I
Which
step
one
onto the
was the
gantry.
quickest exit? I'm gonna just keep on climbing.
Oh,
Okay.
great. Split the party up even further.
No, I might rejoin him later. It's just don't want to get my bearings first.
I'm kidding.
Okay. So you're both still in the same room, so I'm not gonna divert.
One sec.
So if you step onto the gantry. The gantry is essentially a metal walkway that spans the whole room. The room is circular. And the gantry goes around the whole one. And as you look around, you notice that inset into one of the walls is a big metal door. The door does not have any handles, no locks or anything on it. Can't tell if it's locked or open. Currently, it looks shut. Leo, as you climb up the ladder, you notice that above you there look to be shutters. They look like window shutters, but made of metal. And there's a couple of rollers that look like some sort of mechanical system would roll over to actually engage these shutters. But at the moment, they're open and there's light shining through them.
Can I peer through and see what I see?
Around you, you're not up there yet. You're about halfway towards that. But around you, there is water pouring down past the ladder and past through the shutters, essentially. And it looks like it's coming from above where the shutters are.
Okay, I'm gonna go keep on climbing till I can look through the shutters.
Okay.
I just
As you
stop and
climb
watch
up,
Leopard, so this whole time I'm just standing there watching him.
towards the shutters, you notice there's quite a lot of light coming through them. In fact, it looks like there's a pretty well lit room behind these shutters. And as you peer through, you notice what looks like a rather technical room. There's levers and switches everywhere. And there is a person in that room. They're wearing a set of blue overalls and a cap, as well as a fairly old-looking leather tool belt. That they currently have their back to you.
I climb back down the ladder and I join Firebird.
Okay. Character interaction time.
Hey, think I found a way out, but there seems to be someone working up there. Got any ideas on how to get through this? Yellow, unmute yourself.
Had a bit of a sneezing fit.
Stop muting yourself.
Had a sneezing and coughing fit. Sus. Oh, there's there's two options. We can go through this door here and change what's behind it, or we could run a little intimidation. Which do you want to do? I'm good either way.
Well, if we go up there, we'll have a chance of getting reported. Let's see what's behind this door first.
All right.
Okay. So you walk over to the door, and it looks like a pretty sturdy door. In fact, now that you're close to it and you look at it properly, you actually notice that this looks like a bulkhead door. It looks like it's properly sealed, waterproof and everything. There's not really any handles on this side of the door. And in general, it looks really tightly sealed. Doesn't look like you could get through it via conventional means.
Ah, damn, it's a
Intimidation
bulkhead.
it is. That seems more like your...
Yeah. I may have had to persuade a person or two. Usually stubborn recruits. Yeah, let's hit up. I'll lead the way.
All
We
right.
get to see Lucian's voice acting.
Okay. So you climb up the ladder and you get to these shutter window type things that you can actually see in the picture are just there.
Yep.
So these things here. And you can see these mechanisms, the sort of rails on the side. So you get to these windows. What do you do?
I start looking around for a way into that room.
Well, from what you can see, there is no way into the room from where you are. When you look into the room, you can see two archways, one on either side of the room, but you don't know where they lead. what you're standing on essentially looks like a maintenance ladder.
I examined the red boxes, whatever they are, the red things.
Okay, so the red pylons on the side look like locking mechanisms of some sort. It looks like if they extend, the shutters will close, essentially.
Is there anything further up?
So above the windows, it looks like that is where the water is coming from. And as you look up, you notice that there is something up there, but you can't get a clear view of it from where you are. The ladder does continue up.
I continue up.
Okay. So as you get to the top of the ladder, you notice that there are two small gates inset into the wall. And one of them is wide open and the other one is shut. And they're both like grates. They look like filtering systems of some sort. The one on the left is open. The one on the right is currently shut, but water is coming through both sides. There are levers above each of these grates. It looks like these levers are what they use to actually close or open the grates, because one.
Oh, you cut out on me for a second there. I must be playing World of Warcraft. One sec, be right back.
Flip one of the levers.
Well, you're currently sitting below fire, so.
And I'm back. He's not playing World of Warcraft right now. He's asleep. Must just be crappy internet. Okay. Let's see. What was that about the levers?
So there are two levers that you can flip here. They look like they control one of the gate, or one or both of the gates that are in front of you.
In what direction are each? Lever
So the lever on the left is flipped up, and it is above the open gate. The lever is flipped down, and it is above the closed gate.
Okay, so
And these gates are essentially metal grating. And the gap that they leave when they're open looks big enough for a person to crawl through.
I look at Aleph. Not that I know his name. Yet. And say, follow me. We're going through here.
Oh, you actually want to go through there? You don't want to anything else first? Okay. Fair enough.
You're not inspiring confidence.
I'm not meant to be inspiring confidence. I'm meant to be
before-
making you question things.
Before I go through, I draw a single one of my pistols out and say, just in case.
So, so you're going to climb through rushing water, and you're going to defend yourself with a pistol from rushing water.
Oh, okay.
I am going
so
to
the water's coming
ask
through
him
that?
to
Okay.
please not shoot the only guy that could probably let us out of here.
The water is coming through the
Okay, so
gate
a lot
that
of
you want to crawl
water's
through.
coming through. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, never mind then.
It is a waterfall, essentially. Like,
Okay.
it is a pipe where water is coming out of quite heavily.
Oh, okay, kind of like yeah, okay. Uh hmm. I uh I serve I could survey the location, but uh hmm. I look at Leper's character and go, you got any ideas?
Flip the lever and close both ports.
Well, one of them's already closed, but water's still coming through it. Like, these gates are like metal grating. They have holes in them. It looks like they're designed to lessen the flow, but not stop it completely.
Okay, open both of them. Fuck it. All the way.
It's up to you, Fire. You're the one
Uh
who's closest.
no, I closed the open one.
You close the open one. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
So
I thought you
you
already
reach
closed the
up.
open one.
No.
No, he hasn't done anything with them yet. So you reach
Close it.
up and you pull down on the lever that is above the open gate. With a rather loud screeching sound,
Of course.
the gating uh, closes in on itself. The water flow lessens, but it doesn't stop. It's more like a gentle flow instead of a rushing torrent
Oh,
now.
I have a kitty saying hi. Uh okay. I I pause for a moment and see if I could hear any sort of reaction from the maintenance guy.
You can't hear anything really over the sound of the water.
Okay, fair enough. Uh, I look at Leper's character and say, "Maintenance guy doing anything?"
I look at the maintenance guy. What is he doing?
So the maintenance guy in the room is currently looking at a set of dials and he's gently tapping on what looks like a pressure gauge.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm like, I think he's gonna. I think that door. He's gonna have to come down here and change this manually. He doesn't have control over those over here. Can you go? Can you climb down and wait for him at the door? Bulkhead.
Yeah, let's go.
Good lord, do not knock him out.
Who said knocking out? There's
Yeah,
only
no,
one way
we're
this
not.
is gonna go.
Yeah, no, we're not knocking anyone out.
We're killing him.
No.
No.
I mean, I know you're meant to be criminals and all, but we still haven't decided on your crew. This is what this session is about.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm guessing we're climbing down
you,
at this point.
I'm guessing so. What are you doing? I
Uh,
don't know. I don't have control over this situation. You do.
let's go on down by the bulkhead. One of us on each side.
Okay, I just
Or
joined.
what? Both of us on the far side, so he doesn't quite see us.
Okay.
He'll be focused on this
Okay.
ladder. Let's
Please
go.
do not murder anybody. Good
We're not.
lord.
I'm not thinking murder. I'm thinking we're sneaking around.
So, so 2 minutes pass as you stand by the door. 3, 5, 10 minutes. Nobody comes down. Apparently, the difference in pressure wasn't enough to make the maintenance guy come down, or at least this facility isn't that important that a difference in pressure like that would make him want to come down.
To make it important. I look around. What do I see at my disposal?
So around you, you're essentially in a massive water system, right? The walls are slick. There's moss growing here and there. There's some nails and stuff lying around on the gantry way. There is something odd. It's the smell. When you smell things in this place, there's very distinct scents. You can smell ammonia, methane, a variety of other bodily compounds.
Lovely.
That's where I thought you were going when you were saying it smelled to begin with.
Yeah. So that's essentially what you have here.
To climb back up there and completely release all the water at full blast into this room to see what he does and see what his response is.
Okay. Which one of you wants to do that?
I am.
Okay. So you climb back up the ladder. You flip the lever on the left one back up, and gate opens. And you flip the lever on the right one, and the gate opens. And the water starts rushing down into this system. And Fire, as you look down, you notice that the water level is actually noticeably rising now.
What is he doing?
You don't know. Fire is at the bottom and you're at the top. Neither of you can see into the room.
I climbed down enough to look into the room.
Okay. So as you look into the room, you notice that the maintenance man is flipping a couple of switches. And from what you can see, he looks rather frantic now.
Good.
Fire, as you look down at the rising water, the water hits the level that the turbine blades are at. And suddenly you can hear a low, gentle hum. And the turbine
Fires up.
activates. And it starts spinning up.
You're welcome.
And the water starts to slosh and froth. And the turbine starts to spin faster and faster until it gets consecutively more and more speed, and there's literally a gust of wind coming out of the turbine area now.
Now the
And
fan's
it's
spinning.
dangerous.
Oh, it's going up?
No, the fan isn't moving. The turbine isn't moving, but you can feel the air and the water coming up. Like you can see it sloshing about and being moved up and on, as it were.
I
Check
grumble to
the
myself.
bulkhead.
I check the bulkhead.
The bulkhead hasn't moved yet.
Okay, it's staying open.
So,
I'm guessing those bulkheads are not going to release till the water starts reaching that area.
maybe not.
That's. I'm not gonna say anything. Can't say anything on my
I've
end.
just assumed that
Um,
it is to reroute water if there's too much in this tank. So
hmm.
staying open. Is the dude
Well,
looking even more frantic still?
I'm not gonna tell you that because now we're moving back over to Echo.
Oh, we're gonna die in
You're
poo
so
poo.
mean.
Well, we are in a
Okay.
situation where we're better situated anyways, so you know.
So, Echo,
Hi.
among your climbing gear happens to be a grappling hook. And the gantry looks pretty high up. So
That might
conventional means of climbing won't really work. So you swing your grappling hook, and it latches onto the gantryway pretty successfully. But it does make a noise, sort of like a clunk sound. So that was to be expected. It's a metal grappling hook on metal framework. It's fine. Doesn't look like the guards have really noticed. So you start climbing, and you get about halfway up, and then you hear a creaking sound. And you look up, and the railing that the grappling hook is attached to has started to sort of buckle under the strain of having you on it. And the faster you climb, trying to get up to this gantryway, the more the bouncing and the shaking causes this railing piece to buckle until when you're about 3/4 of the way up, the whole thing snaps and your grappling hook and the railing tumble past you towards the ground, and you go with them. And the railing and the grappling hook hit the floor, and there's a massive clanging noise. And you have managed to hang on to the wall, but you can't hang on for long. And you end up falling down to the floor as well. And you land on your back. And in this situation, I'm afraid that you're going to take damage. So let's see. What damage type? What damage would you be taking here? Possibly, but it's about 3.5 meter fall onto your back. I'm going to say, before we decide on damage, I would like you to give me a resistance roll. Now, resistance rolls... Excuse me. Let's see. Resistance rolls... Resistance and armor. Okay. So... Actually, no. I'll let you choose if you want to make a resistance roll. So you can choose to take this consequence, and the consequence will be that you land on your side, you get a broken shoulder. And that broken shoulder will lead to every subsequent physical roll giving you a -1 dice to any roll that you do. Or in the case of rolls that you do not have any dice for, it will give you a third dice. So whereas you would roll 2 dice and take the lowest, you will have to roll 3 dice and take the lowest.
Gonna be so many ones rolled in this game.
Yeah, honestly.
So
This is a
you
game
can
of
choose.
moments of failure.
So far,
You can choose to suffer this consequence of a broken shoulder, and you will get -1d to any physical traits. So tinker, finesse, prowl, skirmish, wreck, all of those you will have -1 dice to when you use them. Or you can choose to resist this roll to see how much stress your character will suffer. So essentially, you'll resist, and whenever you resist, you will suffer a maximum of 6 stress. If you roll, for example, if you roll a 4, you will suffer 2 stress. If you roll a 6, you suffer 0 stress. If you get a critical, so you roll 2 dice and you get 6 on both of them, you clear 1 stress. So you go back down to having only 1 stress marked instead of 2, which is your current. Either way, you will lessen the effect of this consequence. So you'll go from having a broken shoulder to having a sore shoulder instead. So instead of breaking your shoulder, which will cause a -1d penalty, you will have a sore shoulder, which will have a minor effect on your performance.
I'll take the resist.
You'll take the resist? Okay. So, you will be resisting in prowess, because this is a physical resistance. And you get to choose which prowess attribute you resist with. I would suggest prowl because you have 2 points in that. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say prowl seems.
okay. Roll me 2d6. Not bad.
That's
Not bad at all.
I've been getting really
Okay.
unlucky with general rules and then like really lucky with just the outcomes.
Yeah, I'll say. Okay, so you now have a sore shoulder, which gives you a level 1 harm effect. That is not how you spell shoulder. There we
Yes,
go.
8.
No,
There you go.
no.
You can do it. I believe in you.
There we go. Okay, so you now have a sore shoulder instead of a broken shoulder, and you don't take any stress points because you got a 6, which is pretty
Hoopla.
damn good. If you'd gotten double 6s, you would have taken away a stress point, which is pretty good. But unfortunately, you did not, which is a shame. Um, but yeah, so you now have a sore shoulder. Unfortunately, the other consequence of getting a very low roll is you have also alerted the guards to your presence, or they know something's up because they just heard a massive clanging noise coming from behind the pillar that you were climbing. So what do you want to do? The guards will be here in about 15 seconds.
Right. Blend into the crowd?
There is no crowd. It's midnight here.
Okay, never
And
mind. I thought it was
nobody's
a busy station.
nobody's around a train station at midnight, especially when there's people patrolling. And also the platform that, if that wasn't enough, the platform that you're on is usually used for cargo trains anyway.
Okay. Follow-up question. Is there basically any way for me to hide in the shadows, or no? Is it well lit?
You can attempt a prowl roll to hide in the corner, but that is pretty much the only place you'll be able to hide. Right here is the only place that you would be able to hide. Actually, nowhere else, because everywhere else is pretty well lit. Although, when you first climbed onto the platform, you did notice that there was a door in this wall. Where it leads, no one knows.
Book it through the door.
Okay, you want to book it through the door. The door is metal, but it's weak metal. It's got a handle in it. You jog the handle, opens pretty easily. You go through the door. Do you check for anything before you go through the door? Actually, no, you don't have time. So you just run through the door and close it behind you. You are in a storage closet.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Uh,
Is there anything for me to hide behind, on top of?
The storage closet is very dark. You can't really see anything in here. The only light comes from beneath the door that you just came through.
Cool. I'm gonna try and carefully cram myself into a corner and pray.
Okay, so you walk to the back and you notice that there's the storage closet is essentially lined with shelves. So you could probably fit yourself under one of those.
Pancake time it is.
Okay. Now you get to hear some of my voice acting.
Ah, jolly good fun.
So the blue coats walk around the corner to where your grappling hook, which you have left out in the open, I might add,
Yep.
and the broken rail are. Now, what I'm going to say here, very quickly, before I start the voice acting, is you did have time to pick up your grappling hook, but because you didn't think of it, you haven't. And as such, that will have consequences. You need to think, or all of you, as a matter of fact, need to think of the consequences of leaving items around. Because if people notice that you've left an item on the floor, they're likely to be suspicious about it. So yeah, just as a forewarning.
Yeah, you said it like in 15 seconds. I didn't think I would have enough time to pick it up, make a choice, and also succeed in it. So I just left it there.
Well,
Yeah,
you
the
would
way
have
you
had
do it.
time to pick it up, but you would have had to tell me that as you ran to the door, you picked it up, essentially.
That's fair.
But yeah. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. What would they say? So the blue coats walk around the corner. There's two of them. One of them is a rather portly looking gentleman, about 5'4", not very tall, rather fat. The other is a rather tall gentleman, is about 5'11". He's rather thin, and the portly man walks around the corner, and the first thing he notices is the grappling hook, and he goes, "Oi, what's all this? Clarks, come over here. Someone's left a hook on the floor." And Clarks, the other blue coat, comes up behind his companion and goes, "Oh, that ain't right. Look at that. That thing's all pointy. So someone could get hurt if that was left around." And the first man goes, "Right, well, can't leave it around here. Who would leave something like that around anyway? You don't suppose around a train station in the middle of the night anyway?" And as you listen, these two start chattering about this hook that they've found. Neither of them seem to have noticed where you've gone, but neither of them seem particularly inclined to leave.
Well, I've trapped myself.
Slowly drowning ourselves, and you trapped yourself. This is a good start to this world. Just all the way, just screw ourselves over. Why not?
Indeed.
Listen, in a different campaign, I managed to get myself in jail within the first 5 minutes. This is actually going pretty good.
Oh my god, what did you do?
A dumb.
Um,
She did a dumb.
That is a
They did a
story
dumb.
for later.
They
But
did a dumb.
Echo, what would you like to do?
I'm just gonna bide here and hopefully wait them out.
Okay, so you're gonna wait them out. Well, takes about a good 10-15 minutes, but eventually the two blue coats pick up the broken railing, and they pick up the grappling hook, and they busy themselves with returning this property to the station, sticking it in evidence boxes, essentially, and they walk off down the platform. Unfortunately, this means that you have lost your climbing gear. So that gets unchecked. You no longer have any way of climbing properly. So if you do end up trying to climb something, you will have to rely on your prowess alone. You will not have any extra help.
That's fair.
So the blue coats have buggered off, essentially.
Is it just the two of them patrolling this entire platform?
No.
Okay.
So there, the way the blues are arranged is there are oh, there are oh come on. Okay, so there are two for this section of the platform, and there are 2 for this section of the platform. And they essentially have an overlap in this area here.
All right.
Now, the good thing about what you've done is that the 2 that were over on this section of the platform have gone all the way over here to put these items in the area of where evidence is stored, essentially. So you only have to worry about the 2 that are in this area of the platform and the 4 that are in this area of the platform.
Right. I'm gonna try to climb back up the wall.
You're going to try to climb up the wall to the gantry again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, can't say you didn't give it a good old try. Okay, roll me prowl again. 2d6, please.
God damn it!
You are not having a good day for this, are you?
No, I am not.
Maybe you should stop trying to climb things.
Well, to be fair, the first climb was a 6. So yeah.
Hmm?
No, that was not.
No,
The first time
that
was
was
the
not.
yeah. The first getting up onto the platform was the 6th.
Getting
That's
up
what I was
onto the
that's what I
platform
was
without
talking
being
about.
without
Gotcha.
being detected, yeah. But that wasn't a climb, that was a detection roll.
Of course.
Okay, so you once again attempt to scale this wall, and as you're about halfway up, you lose your grip and fall back down to the floor again. Now, you can choose to resist this one, but given that your shoulder is already sore, if you fall on it again, you will dislocate it. And that will take it up to a level 2 harm.
How many dice do I need to roll to resist?
Well, it'll be prowess, and you'll probably end up using prowl to resist. So it would be 2d6. Okay, so that is 4. So you get a lesser effect of a sprained wrist, which isn't that bad. But that is your 2 level 1 harm slots used up. The next harm that you get will be level 2, and there's no resisting it. You also take 2 trauma points because your
Trauma.
highest roll, not trauma, stress points. Sorry,
Okay.
because your
Okay,
highest
that
roll
escalated
was
fast.
4 in this situation.
Like bye character development.
Yeah.
So you now have 4 stress points and 2 harm, of 2 level 1 harm. So yeah, I will also add that in this area there is a progress clock for alert the guards are. Now, progress clocks are an easy way to keep track of certain situations. For example, in this case, there is a progress clock for how aware of guards are. In this case, they have filled in 1 alert point for the progress clock. So that means that they have nope, don't do that. That progress clock is for you healing, not for guards.
Ah, gotcha.
But I have my own little progress clock that essentially indicates how alert the guards are of you. Now, I will not share with you this progress clock because you don't get to know that. You will only know if they're aware of you once that progress clock is full. But I will not tell you how many segments that clock has. So, what would you like to do?
Can I just sneak from like segment to segment? Because obviously climbing is not going well for me.
You can. And for that, I will rely on your previous roll for climbing onto the platform without being seen. And I will say, because it's a similar action, you essentially managed to sneak as far as here successfully. After this, you will need to roll again.
All right.
Okay, moving on to Fire and Leo. Let's see how they're doing, shall we? So, Fire and Leo, you are currently trapped
Drowning in
in
shit?
a cistern with a turbine spinning up below you, and water slowly rising. What would you like to do?
What is the maintenance guy doing?
So the maintenance guy is looking around rather frantically, and suddenly he darts off through the archway on the left side of the room. He is no longer in the room that you are looking in.
Progress. I don't know if it's a good kind of progress, but I made progress. And I yell
Okay.
down to as I'm climbing down, I yell down to Firebird. I think he's coming.
I just nod and press
Okey-doke.
myself against the wall as much as possible.
So what are you
I like
doing, Leo?
hop kind of into the I smush myself up against the wall.
Yeah,
So
he's
you climb
kind.
down the ladder and smush yourself up against the wall as well, right?
Yeah.
Because you're currently like a good 8 meters above the floor on a ladder.
Oh yeah, no, I just jump off that sucker. Let's go.
Yep, you're
No,
dead.
No, what?
8
If you
meters.
jumped off
That's
an
16
8-meter high
feet.
drop,
That's 16
right
feet
down to the
around about.
floor, onto a metal catwalk that is above a spinning turbine, you would hit the catwalk would break, and you would die shredded to bits in a turbine.
Splendor.
Yes. Thank you, Echo.
Hey, at least I don't go
Um,
out of style.
I wouldn't really call it style.
my guy
call
would just
this-
grumble like, you idiot. So
Another
don't.
day in the life.
Okay, so you're both smushed up into the wall on either side of the bulkhead door, right?
No, I'm pretty sure we're both over, like on the far side from the ladder, like on the left side of the door.
So, wait, over here?
Yeah, roundabout.
Because the door is over here.
Yeah, we're on. Why can't I?
Hold down. You need to hold it
Yeah,
down to
we're
ping.
we're right
Yeah.
about here.
So about here.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
close to the door. We're just not right.
So,
We're just outside of direct line of sight from someone coming
okay,
out
well,
the
the
door.
door is over here. And yeah, they probably couldn't see you. Unless they actually looked over at you.
Yeah,
The
because
room is pretty
they'd be
dark
going
as
they'd be going
well.
like this. So
I suppose. Okay, so as you both get into position, you hear a creaking sound. And you look over and you see the bulkhead door is slowly being pushed open. And the maintenance person in his dark blue overalls steps through the door and quickly runs to the ladder. He's left the door open.
We duck out.
Yep. How bright?
Okay.
How bright? How lit is the area behind the door?
It's pretty well lit. It looks like a fairly clean corridor.
Does the
There's
maintenance
a
guy have a radio
staircase
on him?
on one side. The maintenance dude, from what you could see, you don't know. He was wearing a leather tool belt and he had on overalls. It looked like he had a couple of tools on the belt, but you don't know if he had a radio. You didn't get that good a look at him.
Yeah, but it didn't. It wasn't an obvious. Okay.
It wasn't obvious to you.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
We've been doing trying to escape.
Yes, I have an idea. I'm gonna hide in the in the corner, like behind the bulkhead, because it's not fully open. It's partially open. Right?
No, it's fully open.
Oh,
Like he's left
damn.
it fully open.
Okay. Are there any corners I could hide behind?
I am ducking.
You could
through
probably
that.
hide beside the door on the other side, but other than that,
Yeah, I'll do that. And I have a plan for when as he closes the door.
okay.
You close the door behind the maintenance guy?
No, when he comes to close the door. I got pistols.
Okay.
I've got pistols. I'm not gonna kill anyone.
Leo,
Murder the poor
what?
dude.
Leo, what? No. Let's see how this goes. Leo, what are you doing?
I guess I go up to where he came through.
But do you know the way?
So there's not really any other way to go. You go up a flight or two of stairs, and you come through what looks like a fairly small archway into what looks like the control room that you were seeing from the other side. There's a couple of switches, a bunch of pressure gauges, some stuff that looks pretty delicate equipment like. And there's by the windows two rather large levers.
Well, before Leopard does his
You
thing.
don't see this fire. You're
I know.
hiding behind the wall.
I know.
You're nowhere near this.
Okay.
Only Leo sees this. So
Two rather large levers. Do I see a
Yes.
door?
there is another archway on the opposite wall from the one you came in.
Okay, I'm not looking to murder a dude by drowning him in like shit, so I'm just gonna leave.
Okay.
I'm not that much of a psychopath.
Nope, Echo left. Echo, you still there? Hello?
Echo. You've dropped out of Roll20.
There you
go. Sorry. Something with my touch must have been spotty.
Okay.
What were you saying, Leo?
I am just ducking out of there. I'm not bothering with the whole like. What do these levers do?
Okay. So you go through the other wall archway.
And having had second
out,
thoughts, my guy starts off following.
You come out onto a rather large gantry overlooking what looks like a massive water treatment plant. Like there's vats of water that stretch out. There's about 5 or 6 vats on either side of what looks like a sort of archway system that goes through the middle. There's piping, there's scrubbers and cleaners. There's a bunch of personnel working on the floor of this facility. There's a lot of activity going on essentially. From what you can see, what you've just come out of is one of the control rooms for the water sort of gathering system. There's a bunch of pipes in the wall next to the control room, and it looks like the water from the system that you were in gets piped to some of the vats in the room.
It's
To
just crawling
your
with people, huh?
It's crawling with people, but not where you are right now. All the people in this room are down on the factory floor. No one really is up on the gantry where you are. Though, when you look to your right, you do notice that there is an identical archway just a little further along the gantry to the one that you just came out of.
Does my character look in this area?
You can look there, yes, if you want to. Do you want to?
Yeah, I kind of look at my clothing and see kind of how out of place I look.
Well, currently you look rather bedraggled in comparison to the clinical sort of disinfectant white that most of the other people down on the factory floor are wearing, or the blue overalls of the maintenance personnel. You look like you've been through a sewer, and you smell like it too.
Kind of have. Okay.
Start heading towards the other archway.
Okay, Fire. What are you doing?
My guy has second thoughts and goes off after Leopard.
Okay, so you emerge. You see the same sight that he does. You look around. Leo is peering around the archway to the other room. Uh, it's essentially a mirror image control room of the one that you just came out of, except that in this room there are 2 maintenance personnel. Well, I say maintenance personnel. One of them is maintenance. They're wearing blue overalls, blue cap, a leather tool belt as well. The other is looks like an official of some sort. They're wearing what looks like heavy boots, um,
He's the foreman, I'm guessing.
yeah, he's wearing a hard hat, a couple of other sort of uh, differences from anyone else that you've seen around, essentially. And these 2 are currently monitoring some sort of pressure gauge system on one of the walls. They're not paying attention to whoever's coming through the archway.
What's on the other side of the room?
There's a set of shutters, just like the ones that you saw in the first control room. It looks like this is essentially a mirror image. There's another system behind the shutters. This one seems to be a lot fuller than the one that you were just in.
So
Like the water
basically,
is
we
a
we
lot
performed a pretty
higher.
damn good distraction then. They're trying to figure out why the other cistern's acting up, I'm guessing.
No. The other cistern is it's back to normal. The maintenance guy has reversed everything that you've done. But the cistern that you're looking at right now is really full. And it looks like that's on purpose. Like you can see the water level through the shutters, essentially.
They're monitoring it carefully then.
Yes.
Okay. Are you gonna update the map at all, or?
There's nothing to update. This area is not on the map. Technically speaking, this
Gotcha.
area would be. Let me show you where this area would be.
Congratulations, you took
This area would
you took
be
up your
just
literal
there.
shit show.
But it isn't that easy to split out all of these different map sections. So, because they're all on different height levels, I have to be very careful about where I put everything. So yeah. But yeah, that's where that area would be. And you can see the second cistern as well.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So basically, we're about here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, Leopard's about here. I'm about here.
Yeah. Essentially, yes.
Great, we gotta figure out how to get out of a retainer area. How? So I'm guessing it's a catwalk between these two, and the catwalk leads down to the main floor.
There are stairs somewhere along the catwalk that you can take down to the main floor. And but it doesn't look like there's a way out of the main floor on the main floor. Uh, what you do see is at the other end of the room, a rather large metal door
Okay.
that is at the level of the catwalk, and the catwalk sort of goes around the whole room.
Okay.
I look at fire and I'm like, what the hell did we get ourselves into?
And this place literally looks like a water treatment plant.
And
It
not
looks
well lit
like
up top, very well lit at the bottom.
yeah.
How large are these metal doors?
They look like they're about 3 meters across by 4 meters tall.
Okay.
So fucking big.
Yep.
Treatment
It
plant.
looks like people bring heavy equipment through them, essentially.
I
Okay,
just read.
start walking.
I just
just
read
start
Leopard's character, and we both start headed off like along the catwalk, along the edge. I guess.
Direction. I'm just like, let's get the hell out of here. Fuck this
Okay.
shit. I've had a terrible day. I wants to do blow himself up. I still got like bits and pieces of him in my hair, and I just had to split. I just had to
That's a
swim
fair
through
point.
sewage to get
That's a
my
fair
ass
point.
out of here. I just want to go home and take a shower. I need a nap.
Such a mood.
Yeah, my guy needs a shower as well.
A fucking nap. I just want to go home.
I'm not paid enough for this. I'm not paid at all.
I didn't get paid for this shit. The whole deal went bust as soon as the guy dropped the damn thing.
Oh dear. Well,
I just want to go home.
Yep.
hmm.
No, my guy had pointed at Leopard and then pointed at the door.
So
Like the
there's no
general
one on the
idea, you
catwalk and
to
there's
the
no one
door.
looking up. I'm just walking towards
Okay.
that door. I want to go home.
Okay. So you guys are gonna walk towards the door.
Yep.
Big metal door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I am going to say that I am going to leave it here for today. Because we've been playing for about 3 hours now.
Yep.
and I said that I'm not really going to go over the 3 hour mark for sessions. We're not going to do XP gain for this session because technically speaking, our current area isn't finished. For next session, I'll have more of the map complete, so you'll be able to see more of exactly what you're walking into.
Holy shit, Firebird, we hit a loading screen.
You actually, well, yeah, technically speaking, you have actually hit a loading screen. I am going to take the next week to load up the next area of the map for you. But yeah, that is this session complete. Fire and Ice, you are currently in a water treatment plant. Echo, you are in a train station trying to get to a lift. Both of you are actually really close to getting to the next stage of this story. All three of you, actually.
My character smells like shit and death.
Quite
Mine
literally.
is very hurt, and I'm gonna try and see if I can actually get my grappling hook back because I want that.
But yes. So, with that being said, that pretty much concludes this week's session. As I said, we'll do XP gains either next session or the session after that, and I'll judge accordingly with how we do them. But for now, I'd say we are pretty much done. So let me just say goodbye on the recording, and then I will get your feedback. So
Alright.
thank you, everyone, for watching this Blades in the Dark first session. I'm sorry if some of you veterans watching are appalled at how I for all of this sort of thing, and we are working on it, and we're getting better as we go. And next session we will see about doing some more interesting stuff. Maybe I'll have a properly sized map for next time as well. It might be at some point that we actually go into a 3D map to do our work, but we will see about that later on. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for participating in this experiment, and we will see you all next time for some more Aether Cyprium Steam Thieves. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
And now it's time for me to do my
Bye-bye.
outro.
Just
Alright.
use Lucian's outro.
Well, his is from the DM's perspective. Mine is gonna be from the player's perspective. I will not be watching his series until after we are done.
No, that's fair.
I will fight that temptation. Anyways, thank you all for watching. And if you liked the video, hit that like button. If you really liked it, be sure to subscribe. Lucian, thank you for hosting this.
You're
Leopard,
welcome.
thank you for being the master of chaos that you are.
Thanks for tossing us into the deep end with weights tied to our ankles.
And Echo, have fun stealthing around. I thank you all for watching.
So she's
And I'll
gonna have
see
like
y'all.
2 trauma points by the end of this.
God, yeah,
think-
by like the end of the first level, I'm gonna have like a trauma point or something like that. God.
Yeah. I thank you all for watching. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Later, everybody.